Hello, today we're going to be working on a portfolio. This is the page that we're going to be creating today. It's a portfolio page for John Doe. He doesn't exist. This is a picture that I find in the internet, but this is just a template of how you can have a portfolio for you. Very simple. It has a title, an about me side part, also a section for skills, a section with projects. The projects, this is the main reason for the portfolio, a place where you can put some of the work that you did before and actually links. Right here we have a description of the project and also we tell what technologies that we use in this project, as well as provide a link either here or here so the person can go and view the project that we created before. This is a very simple website with pictures about and pictures and videos about some favorite singers that this John Doe he might like. Okay, there is other projects. For example, this is a very simple project that add two numbers using JavaScript, and it's if you put 5 and you put 7, you're gonna have 12. And finally, we have another project right here that John Doe created, for example, and this one converts temperature. If I tell you that the water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, what is that in Fahrenheit? You push Fahrenheit and it's 212. And if you hear in the news today that today is going to be 84 degrees, what is that in Celsius? That will be 28.89 Celsius degrees. So this is just also has a section that it says contact me, where you can put your information about your name, phone number, email address, and other information very important right there. Okay. In this case, we are using a PDF. This is a PDF at resume that I find on internet. It's just an example, John Doe, and basically it's just a PDF. And finally, just created by Edmundo Rubio. There is not much to it. This is a very simple website, and it could be the basis of your very first portfolio website. So let's gonna create it. The very first thing that we need to do is we need to create a place to work. So go to your desktop and create a new folder. Right here is gonna create a folder where we're gonna be creating, and it's gonna call it portfolio. Let's gonna go inside of this folder. As you can see, this folder is totally empty. We have nothing right here. Totally empty. This is the place that we're gonna be working. Now, let's gonna work on it. So, let's gonna open our Atom text editor, and always when you open Atom, you will find out that always it gives you some tabs with some information that you don't need. Feel free to just close everything. After that, we need to import the project folder where we're going to be working, which is this folder right here. We're going to do that one by going to File, Add Project Folder. In the desktop, we create a portfolio. Actually, yeah, we put an N. Okay. So we have the portfolio, and as you can see, this is empty. It has nothing. We're just going to create our first file. New file. And we're going to call it index HTML. As you can see in this part right here, a file just appeared. Is this file right here? Totally empty, nothing there. Let's gonna create a simple boilerplate, HTML. Enter. After that, let's gonna say portfolio. Okay, and right here, let's gonna put like a H1 portfolio. Okay. Don't forget to always save your changes. Like you can do it by File, Save. Another way that I'm going to be doing it during the whole project is going to be I'm going to press the key Control and S, and that's going to save the project. Okay, let's going to see what we have so far. Let's going to open this portfolio in the browser for us to see. This is what we have so far. Portfolio. Okay, it's working. So we need to add one more file. New file, and this is going to be style.css. Enter, and as you can see, we have a new file right here that it just appeared. And let's gonna make sure that it is working. We're gonna do something very simple. Body and background color, and the background color is gonna be lavender. Now, before we see if it's working or not, we need to tell to the HTML document that we want to put the styling from a div external file. The way that we're going to be do that one is right after title, just hit enter and type the word link. Then when you have the green arrow telling you that the auto-completion software is ready for you, just hit enter and come to this part right here, right before the period, and delete everything right here. Let's gonna put the name of our file, style, and then control save changes. Let's gonna see what we have so far. So I'm gonna refresh and yes. Okay, so let's gonna start working in what we want. The very first thing that we want is that we need to create a container where we're gonna put a title right there, John Doe Portfolio. Okay, so for that reason, we're gonna create a div, and let's gonna call this div main container. This div is the main place where we're gonna be working. Everything that we're gonna be doing today is gonna be inside of this place. Okay, and also we're gonna be using div a lot. The div tag, we're gonna be using it several times during this project. Div, and we're gonna call this one top. Inside of this one, we're gonna create a paragraph, and this paragraph says John Doe Portfolio. Control save. Let's see what we have. Okay, actually it's smaller, but we have it. In order to make the text a little bit bigger, let's gonna modify this thing right here. We're gonna say class equals open and close commas, and this class, let's gonna call it title. Now it's time that we go to our CSS and we do some changes right there. Grab and put it in the other side. So right now we're gonna be able to work our HTML or CSS on the same screen. Title, open and close, and in this one we would like to have the font weight, and we would like to have bolder as well. Font size 100 pixels. Also, let's gonna give it a margin, and the margin that we're gonna be given is gonna be -5 pixels, 0 pixels. Control save. Let's see our progress. Okay, we have a bigger text right now, but it doesn't look quite like the way that we want it. We want it to have like can you see that we have a white margin right here, like a border, and it's something different? So let's gonna work in that one right now. In order to achieve that specific, we need to go back to our editor right here, and in the class top, let's gonna create a second class that is gonna be called trans. Okay, and this is gonna be one that we're gonna be used a lot. So let's gonna create trans, and this one is gonna have a background color. In this case, we're gonna be using a RGBA type of color that is we're gonna be using the 0.8. Okay, sounds perfect. We need a border, and in this border we would like to have 5 pixels, solid white. Padding, we would like to have 0 pixels in the vertical axis and 20 pixels in the horizontal. Margin in the bottom, and in the bottom we would like to have 15 pixels, and finally we would like to have text align center. We're gonna save our changes, and let's gonna review our progress. Next part, it will be to create the about me, but can you see right here we have a picture, and actually we have another picture right here, another picture right there, and also we have a resume. Those are files that if we see our project right here, we don't have them right now. So in this, before you create this project, you must have a picture of you and a picture of the projects that you're going to be creating and also your resume. But in this case, I'm going to just give them to you. We're going to create a new folder and we're going to call it EMG. Let's going to go inside of that folder, and inside of that folder, I'm going to just paste the documents that I already had before. So basically, as you can see, I have the picture of John Doe, I have the first project, second project, third project, also the background that we're going to be using. On top of that, we also have a resume. This is a PDF document that I just find on the internet. But in this case, when you are creating for you, this should be your own resume. Okay, now that we have the documents that we need, let's gonna continue the coding. And actually, this folder right here, we don't need to see it right now, so I just want to make my screen bigger so we have more space to our program inside. Okay, let's continue. The next part that we're going to be creating is we're going to be creating the About Me. As I mentioned before, we're going to be using divs. And in this one right here, we're going to call it, the class is going to be About Me. And we also want to give it a second class that is going to be trans. Okay. First thing that we're going to be creating is going to be a H2, which is going to be the title of this section, and it's going to be About Me. All right. Right after that one, we would like to have the image, the picture that we're going to create. So EMG and the image and the source. If you remember, we put it in a folder that is called EMG. And what is the name of the picture? The name of the picture is My Pic 2.jpg. Okay. And we also want to put alternative text that is called Missing Picture. And we need to save the changes that we have. Okay, one more thing that we will need is going to be a description about our life. So right here, I'm just going to put something very simple. You can put anything that you want about you. In this case, I'm going to put, hello, my name is John Doe. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. When I'm not coding, I also enjoy running and movies. Okay, and it's gonna save, and it's gonna see the progress that we have. We go to the one that we are creating, and right there, About Me. And as you can see, we have the picture of John Doe right there. Okay, good, good. But as you can see, in this case, the next part, it will be, something very different is that you can see that there is a space between this part right here and a big space right here. And in the one that we are creating, there is not that such space. Let's gonna create that space before we move forward. To do that one, we need to come back to our CSS. And right here, we're gonna create one that is gonna be called, we're gonna be manipulating the main container class. Okay, in this one right here, we're gonna say main container, and for that one, I'm gonna tell it I wanna modify the margin. I wanna put 2% in the vertical axis of margin and 15% in the horizontal margin. Control save the changes, and it's gonna review. And yes, there is it. Our portfolio is taking shape right now. Right after that one, okay? So we already prepared this part. So the very next part is gonna be the skills. Okie dokie. So div, and this one we're gonna call it skills, and also trans. What we need right here is gonna be a title, which is a H2, and the title is gonna be skills, And it's going to put just a comment, something very simple. It's going to put some text like say like I'm always learning new technologies and techniques. Here are some of my core skills. And right here we're going to create a unorganized list. And we need to put the technologies that we know, the skills that we have, which are going to be list. And we're going to have two more of those ones because in the first one I'm going to put HTML, and in the second one we're going to be putting CSS, and in the third one we're going to be putting JavaScript. Okay, Control save, and let's see what we have so far. Refresh, and look at that. We have the skills, and the only thing is, can you see this? In this part right here, we have those three dots. I don't like them right there. I like how it looks just right here. And we need to fix that part right now. As you can see right here, we are using a unorganized list and the list items. So we're gonna modify the unorganized list. The way that we're gonna be doing, we're gonna come right here and we're gonna say UL, and it's gonna be list style type, and the list style type is gonna be none. Control save the changes. Let's gonna see how we go, and it's gone.